I decided to do a fairy diorama. I think you heard me mention it. And what started out as being just a cute little scene inside a little glass jar has grown. And as it grew, I needed some items. Mushrooms, little crystals for the garden. And of course, some of the mushrooms had to become houses. So how did I do this? Come on the journey with me. Make the base for the crystals. I put a little of the white gravel at the bottom of this little square container that'll contain everything. My resin has been mixed and has been sitting. Don't need too much. I just want to get the gravel saturated. This will do two things. It will hold the gravel all together and it will hold the crystals in place. Just a tiny bit more, not much. Just wanted that little extra. To help bind the crystals in. Okay, I've got the gravel mixed in and saturated. Now I'm going to add the crystals. That's the round one. I want in the center. And I'll have it stand straight up. Well, it's going to behave itself and stand straight up. Got a red one. I'll put in the side here. Got a deep blue. That'll counteract the red. And then I've got kind of a golden crystal. A red crystal, and I got a little triangle-y thing here. You saw me make these before. Okay, now it's set in. I'll set that one up a little bit. That one down further. Do want you centered. And then we'll just let it cure up. Once it cures, I can take it out of the mold and it'll go into the fairy diorama. Once I'm ready for it. And I will be doing another crystal because I do have some more colors still sitting. I made more. You saw me do it. So I'll do another batch, a little bit different. I may even do different colored stones. Went with the white because I can paint it once I'm through, so I can make it a different color if I wish. But we'll go ahead and set this aside and go on to the next step. Now, one of the next steps is I want mushrooms. This is a nice little mushroom mold. I have some that I've already filled. I did that off camera. Some small ones. I can't turn them over because, well, maybe I can turn the camera sideways. Give me a second here. So you can see they're a little tiny. And I've got another one over here that's tiny. Set it down. And then I have a larger one. You can see the mess my table's in at the moment. Always is when I'm working. You can see in the bottom that there's a little pink in there. That's what I had left over filling the one. And for this one, I'm gonna go with kind of a golden red glitter. So into, let me move that out of the way so I can show you. Into my resin. Just a little bit to start with. What's left over, I bought a bunch of these small little containers. I'll put the remainder in there for the next one. So let's start mixing this just to see. I am going, I keep hitting the, took it off screen to do some mixing. That's not quite enough. So I'm going to add a little bit more and I'll come back when I get it just the way I want it. I now have it the color I want. Still kind of see-through, but that nice rose gold color. And of course you've seen me fill.
Though this is sped up, I have poured it slow and easy to hold down on the bubbles.
I've stopped here because there is this little lip. Move it. I want to make sure I've got no air bubbles because it'll be easy for me to squeeze out air bubbles, but not easy if I'd filled this up to the top. So actually I'm not seeing any air bubbles. It looks like it did fill up. Part of that was by going slow. And we'll set this aside to cure. Being as large as it is, I think it's going to take longer than the 24 hours to cure, especially up here in Colorado. So you'll see it all once these I'm going to paint a little bit. I need to put in like that little white underneath the mushroom cap and maybe put some dots or some speckles on the top. So I'll let you see what it looks like when I start doing that. Today I'm going to be pouring some mushrooms. I've got some little mushroom. I may have shown you the molds before a little. You see that I've already poured a layer. I was pouring something else and had leftovers. And I have two partial poured again. Again, these were both actually different times where I had leftovers. I want the two little ones to have a lot of glitter in them. So I'm going to set up containers for glitter. It may seem like a lot of glitter, but I've already done one set of these small mushrooms. And they both used more than two of these. So I put the glitter in, I'll pour in the resin, mix it up, dump it, then I'll put more resin in to clean up the rest of the glitter. It actually works that way. Okay, what's the fourth color I'm going to use?
You will see me slowly fill up, but only partially way. That's so I can do some stirring without it spilling over. Then I will totally fill and do a gentle stir again to finish filling the cups.
of green. But as you can see, still a lot of glitter in here. So, some more resin. For those of you who cook, and you know I use cooking them off as examples, it's kind of like pouring water into a can of soup to get that extra little bit of goodness out. And just a tiny bit more.
And we'll speed up my cleaning out all the different little bits of glitter.
Now this layer will be a little bit more mixed up because there wasn't that much of each of the little whatever. So I'm going to switch to this one, which like I said has got a layer in it that is already sort of set. So I'm going to use a heavy red. Okay, I still have, as you can see, a lot more to fill up, but I want distinctive layers of colors. Even though they're going to be glittery or whatever, I do want them distinct. So these two will be set back, and we'll wait till they firm up, cure. They don't have to 100% cure. So on to the next one. This is going to be a little jar, mushroom jar. Kind of pretty. Nice little mushroom cap. Pretty little jar. So I'm going to take what's left here, and I want it to be blue.
So in goes the blue glitter. I do like my lots of glitter, and that was just about right. Pour it in. You'll see me checking again for bubbles. And the rest of it, and it actually ended up right.
Perfect. So the lid will be another batch and a different color. I don't want blue. And we'll just let that sit and cure.
Of course, the next item to do is use the flame to get rid of any of the little bubbles that have come up to the top. And I will be doing this with everything else that I poured today.
Only going to show one of how I glue this on. As you see, I've already got a butterfly on this mushroom, and it's sitting trying to dry. I'm going to add a beautiful little ladybug, and I think I'll just sort of sit it on here like this. So this mushroom will have two little bugs on it. So what I need to do is glue. So I'm going to set it down. I've still got this covered, so if any of the glue spills, I'm covered. It's not going to end up on the table. It'll just end up on that wrapping. So throw the glue on. This glue, I think you've seen me use it before. It dries clear. So even if I add a little bit and it squirts out, oops, sorry about that, it will dry clear and you won't see it. And again, my lovely little toothpicks to help me. And again, gloves, because believe me, this has been messy. So I'm just moving the glue around a little bit to the rest of the bug. Now I could stick it up here, but it's not going to stay. It will start moving around because that glue is not dry. So I'm going to take some tape. Just a little strip. Lay the tape in my hand, sticky side up. Grab the little bitty bug. Since I want them at an angle, get them in the camera. I'm going to put them on the tape in an angle. And I need to turn it this way because I want him up, not looking down. So he's at that little angle. This is about where I want him. So kind of squish him down. That squishes that glue out and onto the form. No. Same place. So it's still in the glue. And tape down. So that's how I've done it. And I'll kind of give you an overall view. There's a lot of mushrooms and a lot of little bugs I put on. This is the last one. And let it sit overnight so it definitely does dry. One of the other things I've done for the fairy diorama that this is all for is I'm going to have a bridge. So what I've done here is I've taken some popsicle, cut them down. I've taken some of the jewelry wire, show you, the craft wire, and have laid it down, and I'm gluing it. Now though, I'll have to go back once these have dried, take this tape off and put those planks in. But once it's done, and because of the spacing, I'll be able to form it. I've got a place where I want a bridge going over some water in my final mental design, which will change until I'm all done. But this gives you an idea of how to do a bridge. Just using popsicle sticks. I'll basically just cut them up and some craft wire. Now once I get it finished, I'll be using some more of this craft wire and I'll put it up on the top to make handrails. But that'll be after this is all glued up. And I know exactly how I want this set up. I may not be using this whole length, but I figure it'll be easier for me to cut back than it would for me to add additional planks that I need. That is quite a bit. It's about 7 inches long.
And here is just a quick overview of everything that I did tonight. You can see all the pieces of tape that will be hiding the butterflies and little animals that I put on all my little mushrooms, showing off some of the painting I did on some of them.
Now that you saw me doing some of the bits and pieces, the filling up of some of the mushrooms, and I didn't show you any of the painting. I will have another video of me doing some painting items, but I did these paintings off camera. So just a little bit of paint put on. This one I did a little bit more painting, and I got a lot of bling put on it because this mushroom is one of the houses that the fairies live in, so they would have decorated it up. You saw me do this gem collection. This one I did off camera, but it was done the same way as this one, just used a different color sand. And I threw in one of the charms that I filled in, just like I did all these charms here that you saw in another video, is me filling in with resin. And then I went through some of the charms and picked out some of the other little bugs. Little ladybug here, some other butterflies, dragonflies, spiders. Spiders on this one. Nice little nest. But a lot of the butterflies went on. That's the reason I was doing so many butterflies. And we'll set this one aside, because this one also got blinged out. Got a little unicorn decoration and butterfly. And kind of a bee or moth. And the lid, and that's what it is, it's a lid. This is a jar. I will be doing some things inside here that will come with the diorama. Still working on them. A lot of bling, some color. This has a little bit of everything. It's got the little gecko, and a couple little dragonflies. And as we turned it around, again, the diamond gems to make the door. So all of these will be going into the diorama. That will be another video. I'm still gathering items. As you see, this is kind of a long project. I've been doing other little things like that. I colored out all the gems. Some have gone into jewelry. Some has gone into scratchers. And some I've turned into part of the scene. Just to let you know what I will be doing in the future video, you saw me pour these. I know you saw me pour these. I think you may have seen me pour the other ones. These are the ones I'll be coloring on camera for you, or painting on camera. Kind of wanted to show you these are resin, but I painted them. Basically, I poured clear resin like I've poured these clear because I knew I was going to paint them up completely. These I did put a quick white wash on them. I just wanted to show or see how the definition came out of the babies from the egg themselves. But you'll see me actually do the painting and the finishing touches on these. So join me in the next video. And if you enjoyed this one, please give me that thumbs up. Press the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Wherever you're at, have a good day, good night. Bye. And if you enjoyed my video, please press the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and the notification bell so you know when my next video is out. Thank you.